Hi, my name is Fazlurman and we will discuss how can we scrap the DOM elements on the pages. So what is the DOM elements? So for example, when the browser load the HTML, so this page will be appeared. So this is the complete loaded page is known as the document object model. So it is known as the DOM. So all the element which are present on this page, how can we track them? How can we scrap them? For example, these are the element or present order ID, the transaction total, or any other element would be present on the page. How can we track them if their page is loaded? So for example, this is the order ID, so I can inspect. So how can we these type of the element, how can we track them through the GTM? So for example, if someone purchase and the order confirm order are loaded, and every time this order ID would be changed and the total transaction total would be changed, so how can we track them properly? So you have to create a variable for every element you want to track. So first of all, you have to come on the Google Tag Manager. So when you have to click on the variable, so there's a no built-in variable are present in, so we have to create a new variable. So click on the new, so click on the variable configuration. So this is the, there is option present DOM elements, so we have to click there. And now, so because this is the transaction ID, it is the order ID present, so I have to select the order ID. When you are tracking another element which have no order ID, then you have to select the class. Then by selecting the class, you can also track them. So I have to give them the order ID. So proper this name, because ID is equal to order ID. So this variable would be changed when the page is load. So attribute name, if there is a name are present, so you can also put the name there, but you can track without them. So I have to give them the name DOM. So give them the name DOM variable. So I have to save this. So yeah, variable is saved. Now I have to preview this is working or not. So I have to copy and preview. So when you click on the preview, it takes time to load the page. I have to give them the URL on which page you want to track. So I have to connect. So when the page is loaded, so we will check is my variable is picking or not. So yeah, page is loaded. So now I have to check. So yeah, so initializing container loaded, DOM ready. So we have to check the variables. So yeah, you can see that DOM variable, it is picking the variable ID. So when the page is loaded, the measurement ID would be changed, it would be appeared here. So through the DOM variable, you can also track all the other element which are present on this DOM on this page. So now we have to send this data to the GA4 or any other platform like the TikTok, Facebook. So how can we send this data to the GA4 now? Because so first of all, you have to create a for this. So click on the tag and click on the new and click on the tag configuration, because we have to send this data to the GA4. So we require the measurement ID, because I already made this constant variable for this measurement ID. So you have to give them a name DOM tracking element. So yeah, I have to add a parameter, because this is the order ID. So you can name them transactions ID. So I have to choose this variable which I made DOM variable. So you can also track add other variable when you have to want to track this, for example transaction total or other element of the DOM. So yeah, so now I have to create a trigger. So now there's a three option we can trigger initialization. I could not select the initialization, because sometime when the page loaded is starting, the DOM is not completely loaded, so the tag would not fire if I select this variable. So if I could not select the page view, because sometimes the DOM not completely loaded, so the page was started, so the tag, so I have to select the DOM ready. DOM ready means the page would completely loaded, then the trigger would listen, and then the tag would fire. So because I want to track specific DOM events, so I have to click on this. So because I want to track the element of this specific path, so this specific page, so I have to select this URL. So I am giving this uh, page path. So the page path, if the page path contain this trigger would be listen and track the element. So I have to give them the DOM trigger So I have to save this trigger for this. So yeah, we have to name this. So we can name this name. I will give them. Yeah, you know I have to save. So I have to preview now and check this is working or not. So now I have to go to the preview and check the connect. So yeah, the page is loading now. I have to check that. Yeah, you can see the DOM ready, the variables are picking the ID. So now we have to check that the GTM is receiving the data or not. You have to click on the admin and click on the debug view. So there is some glitch or occurring. So I have to internal error. So I have to fetch this. So I have to go to the debug view. Here you can see that session start DM tracking element or releases already have. So you can so you can send this data to the other platform like the like the TikTok, Facebook. So you can track all the DOM elements which are present on the page by making the variables. So thank you so much.